Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's important that you know that if you're watching this video right now, you are an incredibly massive super geek, but that's totally cool, so I hope you enjoy what I have to say here. This little contraption in front of me is something that I'm extremely happy was brought into existence on a 3D printer by my friend Brad Goulet, and I'm going to put his information below if you want to explore the wonderful world of viewmaster reel scanning. So I think this thing has a name. I think it's called the Phone Master. But what it is you take a viewmaster reel, of which I have many, and you put it inside this contraption. And Brad makes these for both Android and iPhone because the offsetting of the lens on the Android would be here on the side, and the iPhone, I believe, would be to the center. I don't know which phones he's currently doing now, but what you do is you put the reel right over here, and there's a light mechanism, and when you put the reel in front of the light, you can actually see the illuminated film from the viewmaster reel. And this is a reel of Venice, and it's very beautiful. And of course, you would be seeing the stereoscopic photo in the viewmaster. And what we do, or what I'm going to show you what I do, my workflow in this tutorial, is how I go ahead and take scans from this machine with my phone and then put them into 3D steroid on the Android and manipulate them into stereo photos. And it's quick and dirty, and nobody is making any claims that it's the most professional looking stuff in the world, but I gotta tell you, when you go ahead and take a couple of shots and you go through the normal auto alignment in the 3D steroid, the finished product, even though you're doing this pretty quick, is pretty beautiful in my opinion. I would not have the patience to sit with an Epson scanner and do this in Photoshop and then Stereo Photo Maker. It's just not in my DNA. But scanning a couple of these shots and then sharing them online is really a lot of fun. I get a lot of satisfaction from it. I'm extremely appreciative of the 3D community and how people share their personal reels, their personal stereo realist slides, and their stereo cards, and anything that people actually take the time to scan and share. It's beautiful because they're sharing their personal property, and you get to really enjoy it just like they would. If you're looking at it correctly with a either cross view or a stereoscope or even anaglyph. So basically, I'm going to show you what my workflow is here and how I go ahead and put these together and share them online. So the first thing that we do, again, I'm filming this with an iPhone because I'm going to show you how I do this with an Android, is you go to your phone, and I'm going to pick this up here, and you put your camera, and again in this case it's Android, you put your camera right into I want to find a really good 3D effect here, but you put your camera, let me get a good shot. I think I saw the Bridge of Sighs. Oh, here's St. Mark's. Venice happens to be one of my favorite places on earth. So you put your camera right here, and you have to be a little bit creative because of the distortion of the plastic, inherent in the plastic. So I try and get the best possible shot, and I even do a little bit of autofocus on the edge here by touching to try and make it as clean as possible. And I take this shot, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And you keep the phone in the same place, and I'm going to go find the other St. Mark's on the reel, which is going to be upside down. I did not know that about viewmaster reels until I started doing this, that one shot was right side up and the other was upside down. pretty ingenious. But let's go ahead, and this time I'm going to tap this side to get it as clean as possible, and I'm going to snap the shot. Okay? So right now, I've snapped 2 shots. Of course, I would go ahead and do 14 shots because we're going to want to snap every part of, or every shot in the reel. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into our camera app on our phone, and we're going to crop it and turn it. And I'm going to show you how I do that, but I'm going to do a screen recording to do that on this phone. And then we're going to import it into 3D Steroid on the Android, and you can use I think it's called i3D Steroid on the iPhone, or any type of photo processor on the phone, but I think that's really the best one to go ahead and be able to turn 2 different shots, a left and a right, into a stereo, basically into a stereo slide. It has an incredibly good auto adjuster, which I guess lines up points and makes it better. Okay, so picking up where we left off over here, we're going to go to our camera app here. Sorry about that. And you're going to see the 2 pictures that I took. Here's one, and here's the other. You can see that they're upside down, one to the other. I start with the former in the collection, and you don't want to mistake and manipulate the same picture twice. So you always have to pay attention to which one you're working on, unless you erase it from your camera roll after you do. But you want to make sure that you don't manipulate the same left eye shot twice. You want to do the left and the right, or the right and the left. Anyway, so what I do first is I rotate first to get it right side up, and then I go ahead and align it the best I can. I've seen some people very meticulous about the borders. We don't have the luxury with, unless I'm missing something, with this phone viewmaster scanner to get as meticulous, because there's a tiny bit of distortion in them. And when you do the stereo manipulation anyway with 3D Steroid, when you do the auto alignment, it messes with the borders anyway. But this is darn good enough for me when you look at this in stereo, because stereo is so forgiving. The effect is really amazing. So I want to go ahead and save this. Oh, it always happens. I hit the button. Sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and save. So remember, I have saved this shot. So I want to go ahead to the next one and make sure to manipulate that one. Oh, sorry about that. So going back, we are going to turn it, and we are going to rotate it, and we are going to crop it. There we go. There we go. And I hit save. And so what I will do is I will look to make sure, before I bring it into the 3D Steroid and spend time manipulating it, that I actually have the correct shots. And how I do that is I'll look to the corner, or I'll look to the bottom, and let's say I'll see where this tripod is in the frame. It looks to be on the very bottom corner, the bottom leg of this camera tripod, and this one is farther over to the right. So this one's kind of hitting the corner, and this one's farther over to the right, so I know I have a stereo photo there. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up 3D Steroid, right? And here's a picture I was working on before. But you open up the program, and you're going to see these 3 dots over here. Sorry about that. These 3 dots over here above menu, and you hit it, and you're going to hit Open File, and it's going to take you to your camera roll. And everybody's file structure and file directory is different. You're just going to have to know where yours are at and where your pictures are kept. If you have any questions, I can be of any help with these programs. Obviously, reach out. But I'm going to go all the way to the bottom because I take a lot of pictures. And I'm going to pick my bottom 2 over here, which is St. Mark's Cathedral here. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now, I'm looking at this cross view, and I'll keep it on the screen for a second like this, and you'll see it as cross view. If you cross your eyes right now, you'll be able to see the effect, and it's quite remarkable. So the next thing that I'm going to do is hit this auto adjust over here. The hat, you didn't see me press it. I don't know if you saw me press it on the screen recorder, but it's actually going to automatically make it even better. And so what I do is I save two shots. I save one as a cross view, and I save one as a parallel view. So this is the cross view. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go back to those three buttons by menu, and I'm going to hit save. I'm going to save default resolution, and it says image is saved. Now that's going to be saving in my camera reel on my phone. All right, but the beautiful thing is when it saves on my camera reel, it also saves to Google Photos. And with Google Photos, you know, it's a cloud service, and you can share links, and that's what I've been doing, is sharing full albums of viewmaster reels. It's very easy to do. So now we're going to go ahead and hit this over here. If you look and you see where it says swap left right, we're going to do that, and that's going to give me the parallel shot. And I'm going to hit auto adjust just for good practice. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to go back and hit save again. And I hit default resolution. I save it in the highest possible resolution. Again, if any of this stuff is confusing to you, please leave a comment, reach out, PM me, whatever the case may be. I like to geek out on this stuff, and I'm more than happy to. Okay, so as I said, it saves in the camera roll, and then it also saves in Google Photos. So if I go to Google Photos, so I just want you to be able to actually see, right over here is the parallel shot. Excuse me. Here is the cross view, and here is the parallel. And what I like to do in Google Photos is a small, quick manipulation. So I generally hit auto. It gives it some warmth, and it sort of brings back the life to the photo. But I also go ahead over here to their manipulation and put in a tiny little bit of pop to give, put in too much, it'll be way over. But pop gives it a bit of sharpness and a bit of contrast, which actually helps with the viewing. It actually separates the picture better, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save on that one, and I'm going to go to this one, which is the cross view. It would be smaller if it was that way, so there's really no difference. So I'm going to hit again the auto, and I'm going to make the pop a little bit more here, but not too pronounced. So I'm going to hit save, and we're saved. So there we are. And from here, what I could do is very easily go to the collection here, and generally I will have 14 pictures. I'll have 7 cross views, and I'll have 7 parallel views, and I'll save them into an album. So I'll go and choose these, and then over here to share, which is these 3, the plus sign up at the top. If you're not very used to Google Photos, and I suggest you become used to it. It's really cool. So I'll go ahead and hit the plus sign, and I will go ahead and hit album, and I can just go ahead and write Venice. Let's just say it's just these 2 shots, but again, it would generally be 14, and that's that. I'd hit this check mark, and then this is now shareable. So I could very easily go ahead and share this link to, let's say, my newsfeed. And I generally share in the 3D groups, but this is how easy it is to share. And then you click it and you'll be able to free view it, or you'll be able to look at it in if you put your phone on, let's say, an Owl machine. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. It's a lot of fun. The fact that it's just so easy to do is what makes it so much fun. It doesn't weigh or bog you down, and the feeling that you get when you share to the community and people get really excited about these reels. I mean, I know I love looking at reels from other people. I mean, I have so many because of Jerry's kindness that I have enough to keep me occupied. So my love affair with other people's photos began with stereo realist slides. Actually, Amanda Heddens, which she used to find her found images that she used to share in on YouTube, or still does, and on Facebook in stereo. So I was able to actually see them, and I thought that that was just the coolest thing, that all of these pictures in these private collections, stereo shots, were available to be seen, and I'm so happy that I get to give back. So if anyone has any questions about what I did or how this works or anything like that, please reach out.